Welcome back. All right, so we're going to review the other 8 games. If you're looking for the first 3 games, already reviewed. The review's already on the channel. We're going to go ahead and just jump right in. We're going to talk about Detroit and Nashville. Now, this game started early, but again, because of the way the games were spread out, I was like, nope, this will go with the rest of the games being reviewed in the evening. Which is good, because I think if I tried to review this game on their own, I don't know if there would have been that many notes beyond what we have on the board. So it was Lyon versus Saros. Things get punchy 34 seconds in, so we get 4-on-4. Yossi's denied. Lyon holds there. The shots are 3-1 Nashville 4 minutes in. We get a power play for the Wings. Valeno has a rebound chance. That's held. There's a shorthanded rush by Sherwood. That's saved. That power play's killed off. Press by Nashville with 9 minutes left. The Wings press with 7.5 minutes left. The Preds draw a power play. That's killed off. Forsberg's denied on a rush. It's 0-0 after 1. Second period. Larkin has a screenshot. That's saved. The shots are 2-1 for Detroit at 4 minutes. Seider versus Forsberg. I believe this is Maurice Seider's first NHL fight. He did all right. Did pretty well for himself. Good tilt. Preds get stuck on one shot for a while in that second period. The Wings draw a power play. That's killed off. There's a press by Nashville with 9 minutes left. Then there's a near miss for Rasmussen from the slot. A lot of back and forth. A lot of one and done. Not a lot of heavy pressure situations out there. DeBrink gets denied from the slot. Beauvillier's robbed as the Predators do get some pressure. Wings go back to the power play. Seider has a shot blocker to side. That power play's killed off. Sissons is then denied on a rush after it's done. It stays 0-0 after 2. Third period. Barrie has a rush chance. That's saved. Evangelista can't bury one in close. Forsberg has a wrister. That's held. There's a press by Nashville at 6 minutes. The shots are 4-1 Preds, 7.5 minutes in. There's a near miss for Evangelista, and then puck ends up being cleared out after. Gostisbehere to Cup. There's a near miss. Nashville gets some pressure, and they score. Just as I was starting to think, is this going to go to overtime? Nope, 14:46. Forsberg wires one top corner from the right circle. Josi and Nyquist with the assists. There's a press by Nashville then with 2.5 minutes left. The goalie pull happens with roughly 2 minutes left in the game. Preds ice it with 1 minute and 4 seconds left, and they hang on. They win this one 1-0. So your Tony the Tiger Magnet's on the board. Nashville's 17-game point streak, 42-25-4 with the win. They pull themselves within 5 points of Winnipeg. Maybe they'll get into that top 3. For Detroit, they're 36-29-6 with the loss. Tough loss for Detroit. They played relatively well at points, but Nashville was the better team. The shots bear that out. 13-8 Nashville in the first, 9-7 Detroit in the second, 13-6 Nashville in the third. Final shots 33-23 for Nashville. Power plays 0 for 3 for Detroit, 0 for 1 for Nashville. The hits 23-4 for Nashville. Lyon saves 32 out of 33. Might have been the best game he's played in weeks. And then Saros saved all 23 shots for the shutout. So yeah, another big win for Nashville. No surprise. All right, next up, Ottawa and New Jersey. Every time that I think, maybe New Jersey's starting to turn things around, this is the kind of game that happens. Now, when I say turn things around, I do not expect playoffs. I have no doubt they're missing the playoffs, but I don't know, at least some wins or something. But nope, it's Korpisalo versus Allen. New Jersey wearing the jersey, so the jersey that says Jersey on the front of the jersey. Sens had the early jump. Greg DeKubalik near miss. There's a power play for the Devils, and on a fast break, Matthew Joseph scores. That's at 4:56, making it 1-0 for Ottawa. We then get at 8 seconds of 4-on-4, so they do kill that off, and then the Sens have the power play. Everything gets killed off there. The Devils killed off the Sens power play relatively easily. Howell is then denied in close. Korpisalo holds there. There's too many Devils on the ice, so power play for the Sens, that's killed off. 1 shot on net. The shots are 6-3 for Ottawa at that point. Myers denied in close. Korpisalo holds that one. 1:41 left. The Sens go back to the power play. So that rolls over into the second period. The Devils finish the kill, and then right away, on a breakaway, Bratt goes 5-hole 23 seconds in. So Jesper Bratt, who's been all around it, finally gets a goal in this one. And then 59 seconds in, Nosek scores from Palat and Mercer. So he buries that one in close. Nice pass by Palat to set that up. There's 2 goals in 36 seconds. New Jersey has their first lead of the game. Devils look for another. The shots though are 3-2 for Ottawa 3 minutes in, meaning both of the shots for the Devils went in the net. At 4:06, Ottawa ties it up. It's Greg. Nice goal too. He dekes around Jake Allen on this one and buries it. Joseph and Bernard Docker with the assists. And then at 6:02, it's Cruikshank scoring. Bar down. From the right circle, Chabot and Giroux with the assists. Ottawa has the lead back. They would not relinquish it again. Devils press to respond. We get a power play for New Jersey. That becomes a minute and 1 second of 4-on-4. And during the 4-on-4, New Jersey turns the puck over, and on a tic-tac-toe play via a 3-on-1, Chabot scores from Tkachuk and Brandstrom at 9:01. Suddenly it's 4-2, and this is where the fans start turning against their team. So we end up with everything being killed off after that 4-on-4 goal. We get another power play for the Devils. That's killed off. And during that, towards the end of it, yeah, the Boo Birds are out, and there was more booing at the horn. It's 4-2 after the second period, I should say, for the Ottawa Senators. Third period, good early back and forth. The Sens defending really well, up by 2. Sanderson to Gregg gets picked off. The shots on net are 3-1 for the Devils, 5.5 minutes in. Devils press at 6 minutes. Korpisalo denies Brendan Smith. There's an ozone penalty then by Ottawa. Heischer's denied in close. That power play's killed off. And then after a turnover, Batherson buries one on a net drive. Tkachuk with the assist at 10:15. We get a power play for Ottawa. That's killed off. And at the end of the game, we end up with the Boo Birds out again. New Jersey fans not happy. Ottawa wins this one 5-2. They go to 29-36-4 with the win. With the loss, New Jersey 34-33-4. So New Jersey had a relatively decent week, but you can't have this letdown. So shots on net, 6-4 Ottawa in the first, 11-8 Ottawa in the second. Both teams had 8 shots in the third. Final shots 25-20 for Ottawa. Power plays, the Sens 0-5, New Jersey 0-4. The hits 8-4 New Jersey. Korpisalo saves 18 out of 20. Jake Allen saves 20 out of 25. So again, New Jersey just, every time I think, well, they'll get some wins and at least get some confidence by the end of the year. No. Edmonton and Toronto. That is a new magnet. Thanks for noticing. So Skinner versus Samsonov, not Varlamov. Samsonov, I don't even know this. I mean, seriously, there's so many names I say. I'm surprised I don't say more of the wrong names. April 1st is coming. Early Oilers power play. Edmondson heads a Draisaitl chance, by which I mean it went right off his helmet, so he blocked it with his head. I wouldn't recommend that. It's a bad idea. So that power play's killed off, 2 shots on it, and not long after, Bobby McMahon scores. He buries one in close from Tavares and Liljegren at 4:17. Hyman then has a shot that's held. There's some pushing there. Oilers press at 7.5 minutes. Bouchard's denied. The shots are 6-4 Oilers at 9 minutes. They actually had a good start to this one. Nylander's denied as the Leafs press. There's a power play for Edmonton, which leads to loud booing from the crowd. They don't like that, but Toronto kills it off. They do like that. 3:03 left. The Leafs get a turn on the power play, and they score on it. Nylander from Liljegren at 18:14. He tips the shot in. It's 2-0 Toronto. With 1:27 left, the Leafs go back to the power play. Referee doesn't get told that he sucks when he gives the visiting team a penalty. Wonder why that is. Anyways, we go to the second period with the score 2-0 and Toronto on the power play. The Oilers do finish the kill. Kane has a turnover chance. That's held. The Oilers press. They're kept to the outside. The shots are 5-3 Toronto at 4 minutes. Kulak has a rush chance. That's held. The Oilers press at 6 minutes. But at 8:02, Toronto scores again. It's Holmberg from Domi and Matthews. So yeah, 3-0. The Oilers press to respond. Things get punched in a hole by Samsonov. There's a power play for the Oilers. A shorthanded 2-on-1 gets defended. Power play's killed off. And then it's Holmberg with a second goal in a row. He scores from Riley and McMahon at 11:04. So he's on hat-trick watch. Hyman then has a wraparound. That's blocked at 15:46. Toronto scores again, and it's McMahon with his second goal of the game from Nylander and Tavares. He wires that one from the right circle. So that's a lot. That's a lot of goals for Toronto. It is 5-0 for them after 2. Third period. Full Leafs power play to start due to some shenanigans at the end of the second period. That power play is killed off. Then there's a delay game call, gives the Oilers a power play, and they score on it. It's Zach Hyman with his 49th of the season. McDavid and Bouchard with the assists at 4:59. The Oilers look for another. They end up going back to the power play. They score on this one as well. At 8:32, it's Corey Perry from Kane and McDavid. So that makes it a 5-3 score, or 5-2 score. Shots are 7-4 for the Oilers with 8 minutes left. We then had a fight between Janmark and Domi. And I just want to say, Janmark held his own in that fight. Perry's denied and close. The goalie pull happens with 4:54 left, and they would score 6-on-5. At 16:21, it's Draisaitl from McDavid and Bouchard. And suddenly there's some doubt, especially since on that play, Samsonov stretching out to make a save. It looked like he hyperextended. It might be a knee, might be ligament, could be groin issue related, but Samsonov was done. Martin Jones goes in the net. They pull the goalie again, and Austin Matthews hits the empty net. That's his 58th of the season at 19:47. Takes all the tension out of the rest of the game. Your final score is 6-3 for the Leafs. They go to 40-20-9 with the win. With the loss, Edmonton 42-22-4. Shots on net, 10-6 Toronto in the first, 15-13 Edmonton in the second, 18-6 Edmonton in the third. Final shots are 39-29 for the Oilers. Power plays 2 for 5 for the Oilers, 1 for 3 for Toronto. Hits 34-31 for Toronto. Skinner saves 18 out of 23. Pickard went in relief and saved all 5 shots he faced. Samsonov saves 31 out of 34. And Jones, after coming in relief when Samsonov gets hurt, saved 5 out of 5. And it's not the only time we saw both goalies play in a game tonight. All right, that being said, moving along. Florida and the Rangers. So this battle, we may end up seeing this in the playoffs, right? We could see this as a conference final, and it would be very entertaining if it happened. So it's Bobrovsky versus Shesterkin. Shots are 1 apiece, 3 minutes in. Panthers press at 4 minutes. We get a power play for Florida. Not only is that killed off, there's no shots for Florida on that power play. And then Tkachuk at 8:18 does put Florida ahead 1-0. Mahura and Verhaeghe with the assist. Good forechecking, and then it's deflected in front of the net. Panthers press at the half. The shots are 8-4 for Florida with 9 minutes left. Power play for New York, that's killed off. 1 shot for the Rangers during that power play. Things get pushy on a hole by Bobrovsky, and then things get pushy on a hole by Shesterkin at the other end because, sure, you got to be equal opportunity. It's 1-0 Florida after 1. Second period, Luostarinen scores early, like 21 seconds in. Reinhart and Balinskis with the assists on that, so that makes it 2-0 Florida. Shots are 4-3 Panthers at 4 minutes. There's a post for Cousins on a turnover. We were that close to a 3-0 lead. But then we get a power play for New York, and they score on it. Fox wires one from the slot. Trocheck and Zibanejad with the assists at 6:22. The Rangers press to tie it, and they would. It's a one-timer under the bar from Panarin, Trocheck, and Fox with the assists at 8:22. Who knew Artemi Panarin could score so many goals in a season? He's close to 100 points, and he's still got a shot at 50 goals this season as well. Rangers draw a power play. Zibanejad's denied as that comes to an end. We then get a power play for Florida. That's killed off. 2 shots on net for Florida's power play. Teams exchange turnovers in the period later on, but it's 2-2 after 2. Third period. Good early back and forth. Bennett has a rush that's blocked. The Rangers press at 5 minutes. The shots are 4-0 Rangers 5.5 minutes in. Lafreniere has a chance that's held. Stenlund has a net feed that gets picked off. The Rangers press at 9.5 minutes. Panthers went over 15 minutes between shots in this game. Rangers press with 6.5 minutes left, but Florida gets the lead back. On the second shot of the period, Verhaeghe, who hadn't scored in 15 games, gets a goal from Montour and Tkachuk at 15:52, but the Rangers answer. Panarin has one that deflects in. Jones and Trocheck with the assists at 16:33, ties the game up at 3 apiece. We're on overtime. In the overtime, Panthers control early. Kreider's then denied. Panarin was denied after that. Fox has a chance at save. Teams exchange rushes. It was an exciting overtime, but we go to the shootout. Panarin has the winner in the shootout. So 4-3 is your final in the shootout for the Rangers. They go to 47-20-4 on the season. With the shootout loss, that's the 4th straight loss for Florida. They're 45-20-5. 3 of those losses in regulation, and now they've got a loss in a shootout. Shots on net, 11-8 Florida in the first, 15-12 for the Rangers in the second, 10-3 Rangers in the third. Both teams had 4 shots in the overtime. Final shots, 37-30 for the Rangers. Power plays, 0 for 2 for Florida, 1 for 3 for the Rangers. Hits, 28-23 for the Rangers. Bobrovsky saves 34 out of 37, and Shesterkin saves 27 out of 30. Now I have to change boards. All right, and on the second board, we start off with Calgary and Vancouver. So it's Markstrom versus DeSmith. There's an early press by the Canucks, and Höglander would score from Pettersson and Garland at 48 seconds. So Vancouver not wasting any time. Miromanov's then denied. The rebound's held. The shots are 2 apiece 5 minutes into the period. There's a near miss for Brock Besser. Lindholm fires one wide on a rush. Amon has a chance that's held as the Canucks get some pressure. Mangiapane's denied. The Flames press a bit after that happens. There's a post for Rasmus Andersson. Flames with some momentum. Late in the period, Suter then has a rush chance that's held. It's 1-0 Vancouver after 1. Second period, the Flames had the only shot on net 3 minutes in. Quiet start. Myers gets dinged on a shot block. He stayed, but yeah, it looked like that hurt. Canucks press at 4 minutes. Backlund has a net feed that's picked off. And then at 8:15, Höglander on an amazing deke He scores the second goal of the game from Pettersson and Garland on a 2-on-0 break. I am so glad that Höglander has thrived under Tocchet. I really thought before Tocchet took over, Höglander would have to go to another organization to thrive. I'm so glad to see he's been able to do that in Vancouver. Power play for the Flames. There's a shorthanded rush by Mikheyev that ends it. Mikheyev had some solid penalty-killing work tonight. Garland nearly adds one as they press. There's a net feed to Podkolzin. Near miss there. Coleman has a net drive that's defended, and then Calgary gets on the board. Anderson at 18:31 from Greer and Rooney. Zadorov then has a shot that's held in the closing seconds. So it's 2-1 Vancouver after 2. Third period. Early press by the Canucks. Podkolzin has a chance that's saved. We get a power play for Calgary. There's a shorthanded rush by Mikheyev that helps to end it towards the finish of it. Flames press after it's done, but the shots are 4-2 Vancouver at 8 minutes. Get a power play for Vancouver. That's killed off one shot, but takes 2 minutes off the clock. Flames press with 7 minutes left. Anderson has a wraparound chance that saved. There's a near miss for Sharangovich. Puck's cleared out. And then with 3:26 left, the Canucks get a power play. That could have been a penalty shot. I prefer if it's a penalty, though, that late in the game, and I feel like you have a better chance of getting the goal on a power play than you do on a penalty shot. At least that's my theory. JT Miller, who would have had the penalty shot, scores on the power play anyways, so it still works for him. And Besser and Hughes get the assists at 16:42. So for Quinn Hughes, he's the first defenseman in Vancouver history to reach 80 points in a season. Goalie pull happens with 2:45 left, and Elias Lindholm hits the empty net at 18:51 to make your score 5-1. Or 4-1, I should say, but Hanley would answer from Pahal and Greer at 19:42. So AJ Greer with a couple of helpers, but with 10.8 seconds left, the Canucks get a power play, which ends it. Your final score is 4-2 for Vancouver. They go to 45-18-8. They're one win away from 100 points, and I get to watch them on Monday. I'm going to the game against the Kings, so they might hit 100 points while I'm watching. Flames 33-31-5. There's 3 Canucks games I'm watching down the stretch now live where I'm going to Vancouver to watch them, so I'm kind of excited. But yeah, Calgary drops to 33-31-5 with the results tonight. They're now 12 points out of the playoffs. Shots on net are 6 apiece in the first, 12-10 Vancouver in the second, 8 apiece in the third. Final shots 26-24 Vancouver. Power plays Calgary 0-2, Vancouver 1-3. The hits 27-22 for Vancouver. Markstrom saves 22 out of 25. DeSmith saves 22 out of 24. All right, next up, Tampa Bay and LA. So Tampa Bay looked like they were down and out, but you can't count them down and out. But at any rate, LA, they still had enough. So it's Vasilevsky versus Talbot. The shots are 1 apiece, 3 minutes in. Kings press at 5.5 minutes. Chafee's tonight on a rush chance. That's held. And then Kempe at 7:03 opens the scoring for LA. Kopitar and Byfield with the assists. We then get a power play for the Kings. Vasilevsky with some heroics on that penalty kill. Does kill it off. Stamkos then has a break chance. That's defended. The shots are 7-6 Tampa with 4.5 minutes left. With 19 seconds left, the Bolts get a power play. And at 19:54, Braden Point scores on it. Now, it still shows as an unassisted goal. I'll agree with the announcers that there should have been assists, but what a mess this was on the app. They weren't showing goals half the time. This goal, last I looked, is still not showing on the app. So who knows? Maybe there are going to be assists just thrown in there later. But it's 1-1 after 1. Second period, Point gets dinged on a shot block early on. Kempe misses one wide as the Kings press, and then more. Buries a loose puck at the net. Dubois and Gavrikov with the assists at 2:18. So for Dubois, that's a 5-game assist streak now for him, I think. Tampa Bay presses at 4 minutes. We get a power play for Tampa. That's killed off. Then the Kings get a power play after that. That was killed off as well. The fans call one. They want another. The referee doesn't listen. Byfield to Kopitar near miss. There's a near miss for Hedman as the Bolts get some pressure. Kings press with 2.5 minutes left. Things are kind of pushy at the horn, but it's 2-1 LA after 2. Third period. 1:12 in, Mikey Anderson, and I was so happy. I might have applauded when I saw this. He buries one on an end-to-end rush. So Mikey Anderson, one of my favorite players. Nice to see him get that. Makes it 3-1 LA, and I thought, hey, maybe LA's going to win this one in regulation for him. But shots are 2-0 Kings at 3.5 minutes. We get a power play for the LA Kings. That's killed off. 2 shots. Shots are 6-2 for the Kings with 9 minutes left. Again, it just felt like, yep, they're going to bring this home. But Paul has a one-timer that's kicked aside. Bolts draw a power play with 6:34 left. Duclair's denied during that. The next shot's held. And then Stamkos with 1 second left in the power play at 15:26 scores from Point and Duclair. It's a one-timer far corner. Bolts then press to tie with 2:48 left. The goalie gets pulled. Bolt's a crossbar away from tying it, but then Stamkos would tie it. He gets a goal from Kucherov and Hedman at 19:14. Wires that one from the left circle. It's 3-3. We're going to overtime, which didn't bother me because this game took forever. So I didn't care if this one went to a shootout because this game I didn't think was ever going to end. Kings control early and they score on a fast break. It's Gavrikov. He must have seen what Anderson did and said, hey, kid, watch this. I can do it too. Gavrikov scores from Kempe and Kopitar on a fast break. It was a nice goal. The defensemen, some nice goals for LA. They get 2 points tonight. They win 4-3 in overtime. They go to 37, 22, and 11. They pull themselves 2 points closer to the Oilers and keep pace with Vegas. For the Tampa Bay Lightning, they're 38, 25, and 7. Yeah, I just noticed I didn't put the scores on these two games. So I'm going to have to pause and do that, but let me give this first. LA outshoots Tampa Bay 8-7, both in the first and the second. The shots are 10-6 Tampa in the third. In the overtime, 1 shot for LA. That's all they needed. Final shots 24-23 Tampa. Power plays 2 for 3 for Tampa. 0 for 3 for LA. Hits 23-18 Tampa Bay. Vasilevsky 19 saves on 23 shots. Talbot 21 saves on 24 shots. The reason I forgot to put the scores up here too is because I'm doing a preview board there while I'm finishing this, and I've got the power rankings in the back of my mind too. So it happens. Let me just go ahead and fix this. All right, fixed. So Chicago and San Jose. And San Jose had a nice big lead tonight, and then they didn't. So it's Mrazek versus Cooley. Sharks press at 2.5 minutes. We get a power play for San Jose, and they score on it. Second shot deflects in. It's Bordeleau from Zetterlund and Addison at 3:53. The Hawks press to respond, but the shots are 6-2 for San Jose 6.5 minutes in. And at 10:17, Bordeleau buries one from the slot. Bailey and Sturm with the assists. It's all Sharks at this point in the game. We get a power play for Chicago. That's killed off. Sharks press with 2.5 minutes left. Athanasiou and Sturm, or Cunnin, I should say, then had a fight. Didn't see that coming, but at any rate, it's 2-0 San Jose after 1. Second period, 16 seconds in. Zetterlund scores from Costin and Ferraro, so that makes it 3-0. Bedard has a rush chance, that saved. We then get a power play for San Jose, and it takes 8 seconds. Zetterlund from Eklund and Granlund at 1:24. This is also where I showed the apps ahead of the actual game. The app told me it was 4-0, so I switched over to the game, and Yvonne was sitting here, and I said, San Jose's about to score, and they did, so I look smart. Anyways, so yeah, that makes it 4-0. Bedard's then denied as the Hawks press. Zetterlund's denied on a break, but you're like, they can't blow a 4-goal lead. Yeah, they can. At 6:45, Donato buries a rebound from Radish and Tyler Johnson. Things get pushy, I should say, on a hold by Cooley. Sharks go back to the power play. That's killed off. The Hawks press with 7 minutes left, and during a delayed call, Tyler Johnson scores from Donato and Radish at 13:20. Things get pushy on a hold by Cooley because, these teams go at one another. My feeling is they were probably just, you're the worst team in the league. No, you're the worst team in the league. That kind of thing. Sharks press in the final minute, but yeah, it's a 4-2 San Jose after 2. Can they hold the lead? I think you can see the score at the top. Third period. Power play for Chicago. That's killed off. Sligert's denied on a rush that the kids do for a goal at some point here. Shots are 4-2 for the Hawks at 5.5 minutes. And Jones wires one through a screen. No chance for Cooley there. Kaiser and Bedard with the assists at 6:20. Reichel to Kurashev, near miss. 6:51 left. San Jose has a power play. Chance to really, lock down the game. That's killed off. Goalie pull happens with 1:20 left, and at 19:13, where I said, of course, Kurashev scored from Donato and Foligno. This was destined for overtime. Of course it was. So the Hawks controlled early, and mercifully, 18 seconds in, Seth Jones ends it. Kurashev with the assist, and Chicago wins 5-4 in overtime. I will say this, Chicago, 20 wins this year. They're 20, 46, and 5 with that win. San Jose, 16, 46, and 8 with the overtime loss. Shots on net, 15-9 San Jose in the first, 14-10 for Chicago in the second, 7-5 Chicago in the third, and the only shot of the overtime was Chicago's. Final shots are 31-30 for the Hawks. Power plays 0 for 2 for Chicago, 2 for 4 for San Jose. Hits 19-13 Chicago. Mrazek saves 26 out of 30, and Cooley saved 26 out of 31. I'd like to see the goalie Cooley playing with the Cooley from the Rangers and the Cooley from the Coyotes, because I think that'd be fun. I at some point in time I need to do like an all-name team that I think like everybody rhymes with everybody, and see if I can come up with a good team where like everybody rhymes. All right. Anyways, bizarre. Just forget I said it. Just if I had one of those Men in Black things. All right. Last game of the night. Columbus and Vegas. We knew what was going to happen here, didn't we? Vegas needed the 2 points, and Columbus, they've been out of the running for a while. So it's Tarasov versus Hill. The shots are 2-0 Vegas 3 minutes in. They had chances, but Columbus opens the scoring. It's Goodbranson at 4:32 from Werenski and Marchenko. Then there's a near miss for Hanifin as Vegas presses. 7.5 minutes left in the period. The shots are only 6 apiece. Pressed by Vegas, they're kept to the outside. Provorov has a shot that's blocked as Columbus is pressing. And then Jenner scores right after the horn. Like, if it had been a second earlier, it would have been a goal. It would have been 2-0, but instead it's 1-0 Columbus after 1. Second period, early Columbus power play. That's killed off. 1 shot. Not long after it's done, Vegas ties the game. It's Barbashev from Roy at 3:31. Then there's a post from Marchenko on a turnover as Columbus is looking for the lead back, but Vegas would get the lead at 4:57. It's Eichel bearing a rebound, the assist to Whitecloud and Stevenson. 7 minutes in, the shots are 13-1 for the Vegas Golden Knights. Yeah, that's not great defense by Columbus. Columbus gets stuck on 1 shot for a while. Eichel's denied on a face-off win. 19 shots by Vegas with 4.5 minutes left. I think Columbus wanted to get to 50 shots against again. They don't quite get there tonight. A net feed to Stevenson, near miss there. Columbus presses with 1.5 minutes left, and then Eichel with a near miss on a net drive. It's 2-1 for the Golden Knights after 2. Third period, an early press for Vegas. Columbus does press at 2.5 minutes, but the puck goes the other way. And at 3:03, Dorofeyev scores from Theodore and Mantha. So for Theodore, that was the start of what would be a 2-assist game for him. We get a power play for Vegas. That's killed off. Columbus presses at 6.5 minutes, but halfway through the period, the shots are 12-2 for the Golden Knights. So again, you're really leaning on Tarasov if you're the Blue Jackets in this. Hutton has a slapper that deflects out. Thompson really barely tested in relief because Aiden Hill went out in the third period. Aiden Hill going out with an injury. This is, the third time this season? At any rate, we know Thompson can handle the net, and we know that they have goaltending depth, but it is troubling because we're close enough to the playoffs now. You have to wonder how long Hill might be out. We'll see. Probably be some news on that over the next couple of days, if not tomorrow. So, 3:12 left. Vegas gets a power play to end it, and Eichel scores on that. Theodore and Stevenson with the assists at 17:18. To Columbus's credit, they do answer at 19:48. Meyer scores from Voronkov and Fix Wolanski, but that just makes it 4-2 instead of 4-1. Columbus goes to 23, 36, and 12 with the loss. With the win, Vegas 38, 25, and 7. Shots on net 10-8 Columbus in the first, 22-3 for Vegas in the second, 17-8 Columbus in the third. Final shots 47-21 for Vegas. Power plays, Columbus 0 for 1, Vegas 1 for 2. The hits 36-17 for Columbus because they didn't have the puck. Tarasov 43 saves on 47 shots. Hill 12 saves on 13 shots. Thompson saved 8 on a 9 in relief. So, there you go. You guys are all caught up. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always, regarding these games. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.